Cautious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello and welcome to an unexpected episode of the Rotherham United podcast. The game is off, obviously, as you will have seen. So we're going to go through the postponement and what the sort of affects briefly before a normal episode as normal on a Monday morning. We've got the full house again. Mick's here.
Hello.
Benjamin's here.
Hello.
This was meant to be the start of the Christmas period, as you can see with the Christmas hat. But we are now apparently, probably almost certainly not going to have a Christmas period from a football point of view, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it is. Is that it? That's my view.
Thanks for listening.
It's a bit of a shame, but you know it's got to be done. If somebody's tested positive, then that's how it is. But like you said, this is going to affect us. There's going to be no Boxing Day game, and possibly no New Year's Eve game or New Year game of it New Year. So I guess the question from our point of view is: does it benefit us, Matt?
Well, yeah, probably. So first things before we say is hopefully whoever's got it, because there is one confirmed case.
Yep.
Whoever's got it, it's only mild and it doesn't affect them too much. And if anybody else ends up getting it, which is a probability with COVID, hopefully nobody else gets it too seriously. And hopefully everybody's all right. Best wishes to everybody at the club, because it won't just affect the players. Almost certainly, this will affect staff at the stadium, probably certainly staff at the training ground. So we're going to spend time talking about the football side of things. Like I said, health first. So I think we're all in agreement that it was the right thing to postpone. If there's small outbreak,
It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be. Whether that's going to be ratified by EFL is another matter, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of ones this season. We've talked about before we start recording. Obviously, Accrington. You talked to Bumble about that. Peterborough are now in the same situation where they've cancelled the next 3 games, and Sunderland are in a similar situation where I think it was a late cancellation in the midweek as well. So when we do the main show on Monday, we'll do a bit more research rather than just a sort of instant reaction. According to the Paul Davis article, this has basically now been ratified by the EFL, and there will be a rearrangement. This is from that. I'm assuming
Everything's going to be fine.
Everything should be fine. And to be fair, we're living in ridiculous times. If there was one club that were going to get points deducted, I suppose it could be Rotherham United.
Yeah. I mean, if EFL are famed for their good management and consistency, aren't they, in everything that they do?
Towards us in particular.
Well, yeah, towards us in particular, but just in general as well. They're such a well-run organisation that are able to produce consistently reasonable rules and regulations and then consistently and reasonably implement them. So I don't think we've got anything to fear at all. I think it's a guarantee that we'll lose 3-0 today.
Yeah, only fair. Then thoughts, we would almost certainly going to lose the next 3. Well, not going to lose them obviously, but we won't be playing 3 games, which will be Derby, Middlesbrough, Barnsley. Depending on the situation, we could potentially lose the Cardiff game, depending on how many people actually get it.
Yeah, well, if people get it, then that's 14 days.
Yeah.
So, and if 6 or 7 players get it, do you reckon will EFL allow us to forfeit the Cardiff game?
Even now, if you take 6 players off the squad we currently have, we have like 10 players.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like you said, 3 games is it lost?
It's minimum 3.
So
it's going to be.
It's good for the resting side, but but it's just 3 more games they have to cramp into an already cramped season.
Yeah, if you look at the fixture list, there are now gaps. We're not playing Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday for the rest of the season. I don't think there's any midweek games in January, so there's space in January for a couple. In February, there's only 2 midweek games, same in March, and I don't think there's any in April midweek games, so there might be 1. So they've tried to cramp in. Those games missed in August and September, they've tried to fit them in before Christmas. For us, obviously, that's now not the case. So there is space in this second half of the season. Hopefully we're losing the FA Cup.
Yeah,
the last thing we need is a cup run. Obviously, I don't mean that if we can get that, but from a fixture congestion point of view, I don't think it's a major issue. Nick?
No, I don't think it is. And bear in mind as well, we've there's a downside and an upside, isn't there? The downside is we've just started to come into a bit of form, a little bit of consistency in terms of performances. So that now gets broken slightly. However, everybody else is going to continue playing at the same rate, at the same level of regularity in terms of games. So we're going to have that rest over this Christmas period. If we can maintain that consistency in form when we come back, everybody else is going to be 4 games more knackered than we are. I accept that they've got to be fitted in over the course of the season, but it's unlikely that we're going to have to fit them in the cramped timescale that Christmas brings. So it could benefit us from that point of view, particularly if teams at the bottom keep losing, teams at the top keep winning. Yeah. That's one side of it. Obviously, it's likely to mean that in 4 games' time we're going to be third bottom.
Probably,
it's every
almost
likelihood.
certainly. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a win-win because obviously we've got a rest. We get some games in hand, and the people who moan a lot will be able to moan.
Yeah,
it is a win-win, really.
Yeah. I also, again, another positive. So this is not a good thing that happened. Obviously, we know this, but we are trying to find some footballing positives, and there are some. We've got a ridiculous injury crisis at the minute, and we're saying that hopefully Shawnee Mack should be back sometime in January. So possibly by the time we come back, we'll have another midfielder.
Yeah, I think that might be stretching it a bit. Because you said it'll be back before January. I don't think it means 1st of January.
So let's assume that we're going to lose next 4 games, which will include the Cardiff one. Take us to 2nd of
lose
January.
or like not playing?
Not playing.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to lose any of these games.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to lose next 4 games, which means our next championship game won't be until like the 16th of January because we've got the FA Cup. So from a league point of view, this could fall right in time because that'll give us 16 days to make us some signings.
Yeah.
And players to rest.
That's probably the most important thing.
Well, they've already got 10 days to sort of rest. Obviously, one will be getting doing home training, I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. Still be resting a little bit, won't they?
You're not playing 90 minutes with football, which is where they get tired from. I'm gutted it's not on because we were all sat ready to watch the game and hopefully get 3 points and pull ourselves away from the relegation zone. But when you look at it, it's not end of world. We've only just played 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
It's not a bad thing. Necessarily, it's not a bad thing. It can very, very easily be turned into a positive for us.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously Wednesday night the performance was brilliant, result was crap. It's a little bit more difficult to turn that one around. But when you're telling players who, one of your colleagues has tested positive, 99.999% certain that they're going to be all right. There's not an issue. You've now got 10 days rest over Christmas.
Yeah.
To rest, recuperate,
spend time with your family.
Just lots and lots of positive stuff, so that we can come back in New Year and we can really go for it.
Yeah.
In fresh, both mentally and physically. So it's like a winter break, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, from a player point of view, as long as for the ones that don't get it, which, like I say, is most of them probably won't get it, they're going to have a proper Christmas.
Yeah.
For the first time in their entire footballing careers, they're going to be able to spend time at home with their family. So from a mental point of view, that's again a potential positive.
It is a potential positive, but also means that they won't be able to see family from other households.
True.
And the other family that they live with will have to isolate, I believe, don't they?
If they're a member of the family that's got it, someone that's got it, yeah.
So, yeah, it is a bit of a better Christmas, but it's not. Not normal.
We're trying to make the best of a bad situation, Ben. Help us out, mate.
And it is a better Christmas, it's just not a normal one, is it?
Yeah, we're looking at it purely from a footballing point of view, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from a football club point of view. I'm disappointed. I was really looking forward to the game today. I genuinely thought we'd get something out of it, but hey, we'll get something out of it next time.
Yeah.
With plenty of rest on board. So,
yeah, and another positive is we were about to play Derby, Borough, and Barnsley. Well, we're all 3 of them in the best form of their season.
Yeah.
Derby is unbeaten in 6-2 wins. Borough are chasing playoff spots, and Barnsley are unbelievable at the minute. Derby's form will probably drop back off. Middlesbrough got Warnock in charge, so who knows, he might sod and get him up. And Barnsley, their form is going to drop off at some point.
Yeah.
So, again, we were meeting teams at the wrong time. Again, it might work out in our favour that when we do come to play them in X amount of days, it might hopefully work out.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So ultimately, we've now got a break, haven't we? That's the bottom line with this. As a club and as a podcast and all.
Yeah, we'll still come. We'll still do some episodes. We'll do a proper episode on Monday. We'll do it more, hopefully a bit more research, and hopefully we'll have a proper statement from the EFL. We've only had a brief one from the club at the minute. And then we're going to do a mid-season review in place of the Boxing Day game, and then we'll do a transfer window special in what would have been in place of the Barnsley game episode. And then hopefully we'll be back up and running for the Cardiff game. We'll have to wait and see. It should help with the transfer process, this. Because now Paul Warren and his management team, they've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, well, no, I suppose I was going to say they'll still be training, but they won't be, will they?
Well, exactly.
They're not allowed to train, so... Yeah, fair comment.
Only thing we've got to do is try and contact players who try and want to come to the club. That's all he can do at the minute, other than spend time with his family. This will be just a YouTube only episode. We'll be doing the normal episode Monday morning for, this. And then we'll do the normal episodes. As we say, we're going to do a couple of specials. Ben's offered to do a quiz episode. So if you think anybody wants Ben to do some work and you fancy a quiz episode, let us know. Festive quiz is the main thing. All the rage, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah. If they want it, then yeah. But if they're not, then it saves me some work, doesn't it?
No, you're going to do the quiz.
That's what I mean.
Are they interested in it?
Yeah. If they want to see it, then I'll do some work. But if they don't, it saves me some work, doesn't it?
Well, no. Obviously, whether what people want to say or not, it's going out. You're going to have to do it because you volunteered live on air.
That's fine.
It weren't live, but yeah, it gives you more time to sort your Mattel Sunday
shirts out,
t-shirts.
I'm coming. You'll see me on it next few days, next few weeks. Well, next game hopefully, next proper game review and preview. You might see me wearing one. You never know.
That'd be lovely.
And are this merchandise going to be available to the rest of us, or is it just solely for management?
That depends. If people, I don't know. It depends. If people want it, then they might get it. If not,
they might get it. It was a tease, isn't it?
It's not just a management perk of a management, a management of the club.
It's me and Matt himself getting one first. That's it.
Yeah, but we're never going to see us. Yeah. We're never going to see us, are we? Because you're going to email it in.
So thank you everybody for listening. Like I said, we're going to do a few more of these episodes over the next 2 weeks to try and keep some football. We're going to feel like when we're back in lockdown, we're just going to try and keep pumping some episodes out so we can try and keep some sort of footballing normality in. But the chances are it's going to be odd. Hopefully, like I said, when we do the episode on Monday, we'll have a bit more information. And each episode, as more information comes through about states of players, we'll obviously cover that as well. Our best wishes, like I said, to everybody at the club who has been affected. Certainly hope anybody that has got it is it's only very mild, hopefully, as I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
They're all fit young men. Thank you. And thank you very much, Mick.
You're very, very welcome, honestly.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.
And if you haven't already, if you're watching the episode and you're thinking, I quite like this, I want to watch another one, or I want to see when the next one's out, click the subscribe button on YouTube.
Yep, it's there down in that bottom left-hand corner. Just hover over it.
Right-hand corner.
Or right-hand corner. It's in one of the corners on the screen. It says subscribe. I don't know, left, right, depends which way you're facing.
And the bell.
Either way,
and the bell next to it.
click on it and happy days.
Click on the bell.
If you want.
Not the picture of Ben, just the actual... And thank you everybody, and we will see you all very, very soon.
Rebel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I